Content warning. This podcast contains discussion of injury, blood, and open wounds. Conflicted Chaos
With Rylee
and Emma.
What's up, Toronto?
It's pronounced Toronto.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I can't believe you made us say this for the first episode. Well, anyways, I'm Emma.
And I'm Rylee.
Welcome to Conflicted Chaos.
It is very chaotic.
Very chaotic. It's going to be a very chaotic season. 6 episodes of absolute chaos. Well, before we get into today's episode, I think we should address the elephant in the room. Riley's a little bit crippled over there.
Yeah, Emma watched me slice my thumb open and cut my tendon in half.
Yeah, well, we were carving pumpkins for a podcast promo video, and we were almost done, too. Like, I think you were almost done your
I was
pumpkin.
fully finished. I was carving the triangle in the lid, like, to let the air out.
And she was singing some High School Musical song, and just, like, it just happened, and then...
I get flashbacks, like, every couple of minutes, and I just see the blood in front of my face.
I don't do good with blood, so I was just sort of, like, very... I put the tops back on the pumpkins, like,
Emma was, like, saying, I don't know, I don't know, and I was just pacing back and forth.
She paced back and forth in front of the camera 14 times. I counted it. It's like, are you okay? Are you gonna cry? Do you need to go to the hospital? Like, do you need stitches?
I wanted to cook dinner first.
Yeah, we were supposed to have pizza.
Yeah. But
instead, you ate it on Sunday night.
We went straight to the hospital.
You were there for quite a long time.
I was there for like 6 hours
yeah.
on a Saturday night in downtown Toronto. I don't recommend going to the hospital.
No. Okay, well, I think we should actually get into our episode now. Back to our regular scheduled programming. First episode is West Coast versus Eastern Canada. So I grew up Eastern Canada, Central Canada, whatever you want to call it, 2 hours north from Toronto in a town called Collingwood.
Collingwood Glee Club.
Oh, I tell her I was part of a Glee Club once, and she brings it up every time I say the word Collingwood.
I'm just jealous. I didn't get to be in a Glee Club.
Yeah, I've never even heard you sing. Can you sing?
You'll see me sing in our video right as I'm
about to
slicing my thumb. I was singing High School Musical.
I remember this. And where are you from, Rylee?
I am from Vancouver, so I am from the other side of Canada.
West Coast.
I live in Port Moody, a little town.
So outside of Vancouver, how much north or how much south?
It's 35 minutes outside of the city. I don't know north, never east. It's east.
Perfect. Good to know.
So living in Toronto, it's very different compared to here.
Yeah, no, it's super different living here than Collingwood too. I think our first sort of subtopic is the outdoors. How cold is Vancouver? I feel like I think it's really cold, but I actually don't know the weather over there.
It's not that cold. Like at Christmas time or the winter,
yeah, winter.
It gets down to probably maybe -5. Last year it was
really?
a bit colder. But it doesn't stay that way for long. It's usually, in the winter, 5 degrees and raining.
See, we get, pretty cold weathers. Our schools have been closed some days because it's too cold to go out and go to school. But recently, climate change, there's been green Christmases the past few Christmases. So it's quite weird. But usually on a normal winter, we will get up to, -20 degrees.
Yeah, we don't get that.
It's not fun.
Other parts of BC get that, but the main, Vancouver, doesn't get that.
I think
but our cold too is different. It's a damp cold. Here, it's very dry. You can just bundle up here and you're fine.
Yeah.
Vancouver, it gets to your skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
It's fun.
But
here, my nostrils freeze, so the snot in my nose freezes.
Ew, that's so weird.
But here, in Toronto, it barely rains. Back home, it rains
all the
from
time?
now until mid-May, June.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's just
it's just rain.
Raining all the
people
time.
complain here that it rains. It's just the daily. I don't even own an umbrella.
You don't even in BC?
No.
Oh no, here.
In BC. Well, and here.
Because you're so used to the rain.
Yeah.
I hate
my
the rain.
mom needs an umbrella, but I don't.
I hate the rain. So in the winters, I grew up playing hockey. I also grew up skiing because Collingwood is 5 minutes from Blue Mountain. So everyone mostly from Collingwood either skied or snowboard. You kind of felt the need that you had to just because the mountain was so close. and pretty much everyone played hockey too. Small town in Ontario. Did you ski? Did a lot of people ski?
Yeah, I grew up skiing.
Yeah.
I don't ski anymore because I played hockey too and
Yeah.
softball. But so that kind of took over my life. But when I
That's
was
a later
younger,
episode.
yeah, that's a later episode. But when I was younger, yeah, we skied a lot, snowboarded.
Yeah.
I started skiing and then I moved to snowboarding. But I have so many injuries from hockey and
hockey?
softball that like my hip flexors, they just can't take it anymore.
So I used to live in Barrie, Ontario, which is
Was there lots of berries?
so weird. Anyways, Barrie is like an hour south from Collingwood, basically. And so when I moved to Collingwood when I was 9 years old, that's when I started skiing. I'd never skied before then. And my brother started snowboarding. And there was 1 year when I was 16 that I was like, Josh, listen, you need to take me out snowboarding one day. Like, snowboarding looks so much cooler than skiing. I couldn't stand up. I literally could not ski down or snowboard down the hill.
Did you skateboard as a kid?
No.
Oh.
I don't have very good balance.
I did. So it was kind of like skateboarding.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I'm so used to with hockey and skiing, my feet being apart, that when they were like on the board, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand up.
Yeah, you kind of get into a panic when
Yeah.
like you can't move them.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
No. I went too fast and I aborted my mission.
Snowboarding is not for Emma,
Snowboarding is not for me.
but you know what is? Singing and playing the guitar. She is a famous singer.
Oh
I think
my
we should
goodness.
mention
Maybe
that
we
in
should
our
mention
first
how
episode.
we met, because it sort of correlates with.
Yeah, it does. Emma and I met in a single cam class. It was taught by Zachy.
Our favorite prof.
Yeah. And we got put into a group. And I think Emma thought I was super cool.
I did. Right from the get-go. Well, actually, I thought Rylee was a boy because we added ourselves on an Instagram group chat. And I was like, who's Rylee? I've never seen Rylee in my life before. And I remember the first time that I had actually seen you, we were working on Banana Go Bango, which for those who aren't in RTA are going to have no idea what we're
Yeah.
talking about, but I think we should just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It was basically just a filming exercise, and you were on camera the first time, I think, right? And
Yeah,
we were doing... I remember the first time we did room tone. So for those who aren't in film, room tone is basically where you record the audio of a room you're filming in so you can use it later for editing. And you're supposed to be really quiet, obviously, so you can get the natural noises of the room. And I think Rylee was just laughing on camera or something. Like, she wouldn't be quiet. And so we had to do the room
It was
tone.
awkward silence.
I think about you had this juice, and you wanted to drink it so bad, but for
Oh
continuity,
my god, we used my juice.
yeah, but for continuity, you couldn't take a sip of it
Yeah.
throughout the entire recording process. So when we were doing room tone at the very end of the film, you were trying to drink it, but we could just hear you slurping.
That's exactly
the boom
what
mic
it
was still on you.
And then we moved on, and then there was another time. No, it would have been the class after that.
Yeah.
And then that's the class that I found Emma's TikTok because I'm a stalker. And I found out that she was a singer, and so I was playing her TikToks out loud in class. She did not like that, and then I said something in her ear. And she punched me as hard as she could, right in the shoulder.
No, this is when we were doing room tone again for one of our group members' films. And we were trying to do room tone. You were whispering my name in my ear. Like, we were trying to be quiet for room tone, and you were just, like, in some weird voice whispering my name in my ear. So I just gave you a little punch.
Yeah, it was a hard punch.
Yeah, it was...
I was bruised.
growing up
Anyways,
playing
that's
blues
how
hockey.
we kind of met. And Emma,
The rest is
and then
history.
yeah, and now I'm like Emma's #1 listener on Spotify.
Yeah, no,
Like
no,
her songs
seriously.
are like in my playlist. They'll
She knows all
randomly
the
come
words.
on. Yeah,
She'll send me, like, videos, and she'll be at, like, a family barbecue. Like, she'll be at, like, a family outing or a family barbecue, and my song will just be playing. And she'll just, like... Or there was one video not too long ago where you were walking on a trail, and you just had music playing out loud. I don't know why you didn't have headphones, but it was just, like, music playing out loud.
I don't want any like bad guys to come up when I'm walking Stan outside.
So my song is just gonna
Yeah.
skip them all away.
Why don't you stay?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the rest is history. Well, speaking about our podcast, this has been in the works for like 5 months.
Yeah.
I think it was April of last year when we were like, let's do this. Let's actually do this podcast. But the thing that took us the longest, we had everything planned out. We had episodes planned out. We had what we were going to talk about planned out. Everything was like down to the line, except our name.
And our name, it was so hard.
We could not come up with a name at all.
I do have a list.
Okay, let's go through the list.
Of some of our old names that we had. So number 1, I can't think of anything.
When I tell you, my mind was actually blank.
Yeah,
there was nothing coming to my brain.
The one that I kept suggesting that Emma did not like was raw chicken.
Yeah, it was this close to being raw chicken.
I still think that we could do a name change. We have 2 lost souls. Because we were lost.
There was one.
We were initially gonna have a guest on every week.
Yeah.
So we were gonna do, but like a random one that we didn't know, just to make things uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that name was gonna be How to Make Friends. Well, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next one was How to Make People Uncomfortable.
I think that you just put that in there to be funny. There was one in there where
How
we
to Be a
added
Pop
up.
Star.
Oh my god. There was one in there where we calculated how many miles it was from Collingwood to
Port Moody. Yeah, we have 4,381 kilometers. That would have been a name.
That was actually like a potential one for a while.
That was.
Thank God we didn't go
Convies
with
with adulties.
One was train tracks. That was pretty early on.
That was early
I was on
on.
the train, and I put it because we were going to talk a lot about growing up. And so I was, like train tracks as in braces. Like, because I had braces as a kid for like 6 years.
I never had to have braces.
Oh, well.
That was one of my trivia questions I was going to ask you.
Did you have
when we were pumpkin carving, but
Oh.
I didn't have my phone. And then we decided that we had a lot of similarities, but we were pretty different.
Yeah.
So then that's when we kind of started getting into, we had parallel differences.
Yeah, but I think that was already taken.
That was already taken.
That was one of our issues is we would come up with really good names. I can't think of them now.
They're not on here. The good ones aren't on here.
No.
These were just like contenders.
We had really good names, but they were all taken. And so we kind of, if we were just using this name within school, I think it would have been fine. But we wanted
We're going to be famous.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can actually go somewhere with this podcast. So we didn't want to get somewhere and then have to change our name.
Yeah, so, and then we got to the idea of camera lenses, how a convex lens is...
It's like flipped.
Yeah. So it's like a mirror, kind of.
It's like when you look on the back of a spoon, your face is like upside down.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like, we're looking into a mirror because we're so similar, but then it's like
different.
a convex lens.
Yeah, so we had, that was it. And then all of a sudden, and then we were thinking like something chaotic, like because it's going to be like a gong show. So then someone came up with conflicted. And we're like, there we go.
I think I came up with conflicted, and then we were trying to think of like
a C word.
A C word. And I think chaos was already sort of in the works.
Yeah,
so then it was just conflicted chaos. And when we came up with this name, we were in one of the buildings on campus, and there was people around us, and we were like,
we got it!
Do y'all see this? Like, this is actually history being made right now.
No one cheered for us.
No one did. We were just in there by ourselves cheering.
Yeah.
I think everyone was kind of looking at us weird. One of our friends was trying to eat her lunch.
Yeah, she wasn't even happy about it. It's kind of rude, honestly.
No names will be disclosed. So back to...
back to our differences.
Back to
East
West Coast.
versus West Coast. The lifestyle.
The lifestyle. So Collingwood versus Toronto. I think the biggest thing for me is public transit. Like in Collingwood and in small towns in general, if you wanted to go somewhere, you had to drive. You had to get your license and you had to, get in your car and drive to wherever you were going. But here, it's public transit. Like so many of my friends don't have their licenses because you don't need a license growing up in Toronto, which makes so much sense. So that was, I think, one of the biggest changes for me.
Yeah, that was definitely a change too. Because Vancouver's transit system sucks anyways.
Yeah. Well, Collingwood, we've got like one bus, I think. But it's not like Toronto TTC where it's every 7 minutes.
Yeah, we have something called the Sky Train.
Oh, is it floats in the sky?
Yeah, it's above ground for the most part. So that goes from Coquitlam, which is like 10 minutes away from where I live. And then it goes all the way to Vancouver. And then there's a couple of different lines. So it goes to like another town like Surrey and then up. But it's nothing like what we have here.
Yeah, no.
It's
This was such a change because we've got the streetcar, we've got the subway, we've got buses. Like if you want to go somewhere, like you just have to go to the TTC station and you can go basically anywhere in the city.
Yeah.
For $3.35.
But with a student discount, it's $3.20.
I know. I still need to get my student discount. I've been really bad at doing it because you have to get a TTC like photo taken.
Oh, I've never had to do that.
Oh. Well, maybe after this podcast, you can show me how to get my student discount.
That'd be nice of me.
I think one of the biggest changes coming from Collingwood to Toronto was the style. Like, growing up in a small town, I feel like everyone kind of dressed the same. And, like, if there was trends, like, I don't know, Air Forces, or, like, a while back, it was, like, the Adidas All-Stars. Everyone had them because I think everyone was just trying to fit in and sort of be cohesive with one another. But here, I feel like everyone is so... like people express themselves more in the city, which I like. I feel like my style has changed a lot since living in the city because I feel less judged, I think, for what I wear. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you guys dress weird. I'm gonna be honest. Toronto fashion, it's just a lot.
This is why we're called Conflicted Chaos.
There's a lot going on. I
do agree with that sometimes.
Like Vancouver, like you don't see people just like out here in like Lululemon, everything. Like people are in their baggiest clothes that you could possibly find, and just like dragging on the ground.
Okay, what's a fashion trend that you just don't like?
The bagginess.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I think for me is chunky shoes.
I bought a pair of joggers, and I was like, I called them my Toronto pants.
The parachute pants?
I only wear them in Toronto. They're not like baggy joggers.
Yeah.
But they're joggers. I went up to my old roommate because she's like super into fashion, and she's in like the journalism thing here, but she's like writing for fashion magazines. Yeah. And I went up to Gia and I'm like, G-Dog, I got Toronto pants. She's like, What are you talking about?
You fit right in.
And I'm like, look, they're kind of baggy.
I think one of the thing that I have never been able to like is chunky shoes. I
don't like those either.
I don't like chunky, like the super chunky shoes. I don't know. They're not for me.
No, I'm not a fan either.
Not for me.
I like my little Adidas Stan Smiths or my alligator shoes.
They can't see the camera, but I'm actually wearing kids' Air Forces right now. Oh. That'll do it. That'll do it. Well, I think maybe we should talk about like food now.
Yeah, there's a big difference in food.
There's a lot of seafood in Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver. I refuse to eat Toronto seafood. I think it's disgusting. It's way too far away from the ocean. So I do not eat seafood until I go home.
Yeah.
And like I crave it. Like I did get sushi one time because I was like dying for something.
Yeah.
And I was like craving it for days and days. So finally I went and got sushi. But I was like, I'm going to get food poisoning from this.
Did you?
No. But I still don't trust it. But I was ready for it. I had all my assignments finished just in case. But yeah, the seafood is very good. We're like on the ocean.
So you grew up having seafood most nights for dinner?
Yeah, we have like salmon quite a bit.
See, I have 2 younger siblings, so we grew up eating just a lot of basic meals like chicken,
Mexican rice, and broccoli.
I knew
that's Emma's favorite food.
I bring this for lunch once. I literally bring this for lunch once, and now she thinks it's my favorite food. Oh my goodness.
I've never seen her eat anything else, really.
Well, I was supposed to eat pizza on Saturday at your apartment, but you decided to cut yourself.
Yeah, that was upsetting.
I was really looking forward to that pizza.
I'm sorry. One thing I was going to say. So there's this island that we go to. It's our family friends. She has a cabin. It's called Main Island. And so on the weekends in the summer, this guy, the fish guy, has his boat, and you send in your email, you send it in by like Thursday, and you say like what you want. Like we always get crab and like scallops and stuff. And then you wait for him, and he pulls up on his boat that he just caught all the fish on. He goes to like the 4 different islands.
Have you ever been on the boat?
Yeah, we've been on the boat to grab the fish.
But you've never, like, gone for a little ride?
You've never brought us for a ride, unfortunately.
I feel like you'd be the one to ask.
Probably. Yeah, I should have.
The thing for moving from Collingwood to Toronto for me was Collingwood, at least in my perspective, we don't have a lot of, like, diverse cultural foods. So when I came to Toronto, like, I've tried so many different foods. I feel like I was missing out.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the Thai food here, pie? The best Thai I've ever had.
Okay, I've never been. Well,
the best pad Thai. Yeah.
I
Now I can't even eat it back home. I thought I had a good place, but I
palate
don't.
has expanded since moving to Toronto. Like I've tried. Like my roommate in first year, she made Indian food one night for me and my other roommate, and it was so good. And I'd never tried Indian food before that because I feel like
chicken,
we just didn't
Mexican
have
rice,
to
and
that.
broccoli.
Oh my goodness.
I can't do Indian food because I have a sensitive tummy.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Very.
I think to end off our podcast, we've got some trivia questions on each of our hometowns.
Yes, we do. Would you like to go first, Emma?
I'll go first. Okay.
She jumped on that one.
What are 3 hangout places in Collingwood?
The hockey arena.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Blue Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
The Collingwood Glee Club.
No, it's not the Collingwood Glee Club. It shut down.
The bar.
No, like for like teenagers. Like
the mall.
We don't have a mall in
Oh,
Collingwood.
Canada's Wonderland.
That's in Vaughan.
I thought it was near Blue Mountain.
That's not even. Your sense of direction literally kills me. Okay, one more place in Collingwood.
One more place in Collingwood?
Yeah, that we hung out as kids.
The top of Blue Mountain?
Okay, well, what I was thinking of is we have Sunset Point, which is like a beach. So if
How
you
would
said
I
beach,
know that?
If you said beach.
I didn't know there was a beach.
And the pier, which is like basically it's a pier and you can jump off into the water.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, super fun. Anyways, what's your trivia question?
So in Port Moody, we have a street with 6 breweries. It's where
That's a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
It's a lot
They're
of
all
beer.
like basically side by side. What's the street called? I have 4 answers if you want me to read them out and you can guess.
Is it like a number or like a name?
It's 2 words.
First street.
No.
Is the second word street?
Nope.
Port Moody Street.
No.
Beer Street.
You're close.
Brewery Street.
You're really close.
Beer Brewery Street.
No. Brewers Row.
Brewers Row. Okay. I get like
I
half
worked
a
at
point
one
for
of the
that.
breweries.
Oh, you
there.
did?
Yes.
Oh, you told me this. I
Yes.
didn't know this.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're actually almost out of time for our podcast. So next episode is high school, yeah?
Yeah.
High school. So Rylee is actually 4 years older than me.
I'm really old.
She's an old woman. So we're going to do high school with COVID versus normal high school experience. We're very excited to talk about our high school experiences. We're very different in high school.
We are very different.
Yeah.
Emma's kind of nerdy.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how I'm friends with her right now.
I think we'll just leave it at this. Thanks for joining us for our first episode of Conflicted Chaos. I hope
chaotic.
it was very chaotic for you. I think it was very chaotic.
I think it was too.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go log off, eat some chicken, some Mexican rice.
Well,
and some
my mom
broccoli.
is flying into town and she is landing.
Oh, because Rylee has surgery tomorrow.
I have surgery tomorrow on my thumb.
Well, good luck on
Thank
your
you.
surgery.
Thank you. Hopefully I make it out okay.
I think you'll be
You're going to
fine.
have to do another cut and stitch it up.
You're going to get PTSD.
Probably. All right.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.